Most of us take everyday life for granted. The sunrise, a cup of coffee, birds singing, and even the noise and chaos in our homes as we dress children for school or head off to soccer practice. Arthur Corenblith is a husband, father, and a teacher at Rucker Elementary School in Houston. Chaotic mornings were just part of his routine. But that routine began to change when Arthur's doctors discovered a genetic kidney disorder. That disorder had progressed to the point where he was told he would need dialysis, and he was also going to need a kidney transplant soon.
When I first got on the transplant list, they could tell you, well, you're an A positive blood type, so you should be able to get a kidney in about 4 years based on our history. Literally at the 4-year mark, the United States of America changed its kidney allocation system. Right when I was supposed to get a kidney, a cadaver kidney. And they said, now people have been on dialysis a long time, they're going to go to the top of the list, even if they haven't been on the waiting list. It used to just go pretty much by the waiting list. Now I respect that, because I was on dialysis now, and I know that, hey, if you've been on dialysis a long time, you need to be able to get on that waiting list and be at the top. But that put me an undetermined amount of time behind now. When I would ask the hospital, when am I going to get a transplant? When is the possible time? They go, we can't even tell you now. The system's changed. Before we could tell you 4 years, and you're coming up at 4 years. Now we can't even tell you because it's changed. We don't know anymore. And it there was not even anything. There was not even a light at the end of the tunnel when it was going to happen.
As the illness progressed, it began to rob Arthur of all his hopes and dreams. His youngest son, Cooper, plays soccer on one of Houston's select soccer teams. But Arthur's kidneys were shutting down, and he couldn't even attend his son's games. Hope for health and a normal life began to fade towards fear of the worst.
My kidneys were going down, so I had to tell my boys, who I love with my whole heart, and my wife, hey, this could be it. Y'all are wonderful kids. I love y'all so much, and I love being their dad, and that was so hard. I mean, I still to this day have no idea what I can even tell them, because how much I love them and how you can put into words what you feel about them, your kids and your family. And it was hard for me to take my then 12-year-old son and talk to him, and then even my older son, because we'd done so much together, and it was horrible to have to do that.
Arthur and his family began to expand their search for help and for hope. He enrolled in the transplant program at San Antonio's Methodist Specialty and Transplant Hospital. At a small store on Interstate 10 near San Antonio, Brittany Reppond was performing her regular daily job. This particular store just happened to be a part of her route.
My sister, I told her I can't put an advertisement on my car, She goes, well, that doesn't stop me from doing it. Your coordinator won't see it on my car. So her car had that my brother needs a kidney and the number. So again, we went up to San Antonio. My brother-in-law took me back, and he went back in the same car back to towards San Antonio. He stopped off at a gas station, and this young woman came up to the car and says, I'd like to help. And sure enough, she'd go there and get tested and get psychologically tested and went on a liquid diet and all sorts of stuff. And we're just like, oh my goodness, she's really, really going through with this. And the hospital was accepting, and they, there is such a thing as called an altruistic donation, which is where a person donates for their personal reasons. They don't want anything from you. This is just that they're amazing people. There is such a thing, but it's so rare that hospitals don't even believe it, that it's possible. And me neither. Me as well. I'm like, this can't really happen. And the next thing you know, it was happening.
And I was at Trainer Hell that day, and it's kind of like a little exit. And I was working, but then I walked around. I don't know why, because usually I go this way, but I walked around, and that's how I saw it. but I was going inside and I saw it, so I asked the cashier, I was like, hey, do you know whose vehicle that is? Because they were there for a while. So I figured it was a worker or something. And she's like, no, I have no idea. No, I mean, I did give myself some time because I am an impulsive person. But at the end of the day, like, I knew that God had me there for a reason, like at that station.
We were able to make arrangements for Brittany and Arthur to meet for the first time in person since leaving the hospital.
Hey.
Getting around a lot better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better thanks to you. How you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how to ever repay you. That's a huge thing to do for anybody, and I'll never be able to thank you enough. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, and I'm able to. I haven't gone on a vacation with my boys. You know, I'll get to do that now, and so I can travel with them now. I can, you know, sometimes if a friend asks me to stay over, you know, later and talk, and I can now. As soon as the kidney went in, my kidney function is normal now.
That's what he told me. He said as soon as you woke up.
I was so used to it, you know, being dragged down, that when I woke up, it was like incredibly great, you know.
So I can tell the change.
Yeah. Well, that's all because of you. So.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was thankful. Like, I'm glad that God put me in his life to be able to be that person. Because, like, that's what I want to do one day. I want to save people's lives. I want to eventually own my own hospital for children who, like, have parents who can't afford to send them there. I'm thankful that I've already, like, started fulfilling my dreams.
There's so many bad stories and stuff. There's so many bad things in the world. This is like something where the world was perfect. It was bright and beautiful. It's like, and I'm keeping that, like, man, there's no reason to even not smile, you know?
I was like, okay, I'm put it in God's hands. Like, if I'm a match, it's his will. If I'm not, it's not. Like, plain and simple. And then I looked him up on Facebook on your sister's page.
Oh, okay.
And I saw he had 2 kids. And that's what kind of like did it for the rest of me. Because I don't have my dad, and I wanted them to be able to keep their dad. You're a candidate, regardless, and there's somebody out there that's a match. And I mean, it saves somebody's life. And that's my goal, is to get as many people that are healthy and want to step up and let somebody keep their family member. Because what if it was your mom or your dad?
Spend a little time with Brittany Reppond and you'll know why she is the definition of what a hero really is. And part of what makes her a real hero is the fact that she doesn't see herself as a hero at all. She wasn't seeking any praise then or now, but she had a desire to help a man she didn't even know. Brittany gave a part of her so that Arthur could live. And in my book, that's a hero.